You know what this is. Every single time in recorded history that this chart has done this has always followed. And if this theory is correct, do you know what it means is next for Bitcoin? Bitcoin holders around the world are holding their breath, clenching their cheeks, and squeezing their mother's waists tightly in anticipation of what could turn into the biggest dumpathon-rumpathon of the last 1,000 years. But there's one thing that can save the Moon Boys from complete and utter annihilation. I'm your host, Squirts Magoo, and Bitcoin is only hours from setting either its 10th red weekly candle in a row or breaking the dumpy downtrend and beginning a new week in the green, giving the baby bulls the smallest taste of victory after the baby bears have been tasting the baby bulls for nearly 3 entire months. But you might be surprised at how quickly the juice can be let loose. If you're new channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications to never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And as well, if you are interested in any bonuses or deals, make sure to check out all the links below. And as well, for a limited time, we are one of only a select few pools actually partnering with the Ape Society here. Basically, if you stake with our ADA pool in the description, you will receive 6 months of free society tokens with this partnership. That's basically it. There's only 7 pools that have been accepted, but if you're holding ADA, basically no downside to doing this. And there is an instructional video on the website below. But without any further ado, let's dump on in. Now this is what I call dangerously big, as Bitcoin, as you guys I'm sure you're very aware, has been trading in the nether zone, in the ultimate bone zone for an entire month now, on the edge, and it's been despair and so much pain. And we're going to be jumping into some very interesting things going on right now. Is there a chance that Bitcoin actually can be revived, or in fact, is it absolutely very, very devastating? So first of all, guys, if we take a look at the SPX, which it's nobody is debating this at this point, right? Everybody knows this, that Bitcoin is very correlated now to the stock market. Was it in the past? Not necessarily. Is it currently very correlated to the stock market? I would have to argue yes. And actually, at this current time, Bitcoin and the stock market are very much in sync. If the stock market is down for a week, it's very unusual if Bitcoin is down for a week, and vice versa. If the stock market is up for a week, it's very unlikely that Bitcoin is usually not down also. You know, it's usually doing very similar moves to each other. And so with that, you know, back in 2018 at the bottom of the Bitcoin bear market, guess what also happened? The stock market had its biggest pullback, and again, no coincidence, I don't think, right? We saw the SPX go down to its first time getting into the kind of that oversold territory on the RSI, down to about the 30 line, where it ultimately bounced, right? We saw that rally for about the next almost 2 years. We all know the crash that happened in March of 2020. Bitcoin and the stock market completely collapsed, went into that oversold level down to about 21, and then bounced and rallied. And now, what do we see here? Bitcoin and the stock market have been crashing the entire year. And where are we? That's right, in the oversold, right at about the 30 line here on the RSI. Where, again, historically, we've basically always bounced every time we've come down to these levels. I mean, for pizza's sake, even the crash of 2008, when the SPX did that, it crashed and then ultimately ended up going into a mega rally, right? So again, every time that the SPX has had one of these moves and come down to this oversold level to roughly about the 30 or lower on the RSI, it has gone into a strong rally and continues. So the big question here is that if you know, history repeats itself so far as it seems to always do. And even, you know, with the MACD kind of converging here, we talked about this too. It's kind of curving over the last 2 weeks. If this continues and we see a strong bounce in the stock market, what do you think will happen to Bitcoin? That's right. It would be crazy to think that Bitcoin would not also pump, meaning it's very, very, very likely Bitcoin would rally immensely if the stock market also rallied. And there are some signs showing that the SPX, or the stock market in general, could begin rallying. You know, but it's absolutely not all bananas and gumdrops here. There's absolutely some danger to be had. And as well, you know, what we talked about on the weekly chart for the DXY, we see the MACD kind of converging over here, crossing. And for the past 3 weeks, we've seen momentum kind of slowing down with the DXY. However, on the short term, it does look as though the same thing showing up here. We could see this momentum slowly shifting to the upside. However, on the daily chart, on the short term, however, again, I fully expect this, and I've been saying this since we first breached here back in the middle of May, that if we come up here and get rejected at this 21 day, that is a massive mega green light for the DXY to get rejected, for the SPX, for the stock market, Bitcoin to start rallying. So that's again, we're still in the middle of that. It'll take another week at least to play out, very possibly this upcoming week, which is very exciting. But yeah, when we look on this weekly chart, it looks as though the DXY could be taking a downturn. And yeah, before we jump into the Bitcoin charts, and as well something very interesting I want to talk about here with this correction, this is big. So Bitcoin long-term holders begin distribution, which preceded Bitcoin price bottoms. The weekly chart on Bitcoin looks horrific, and the trend continuation remains. Crypto Tony here saying, I think we consolidate a little longer before dropping eventually. He says he believes that we're going to have one final drop down to about 22,000, and that would take time, he says. And another analyst saying that he believes 27,000. Okay, so both of these analysts expecting a drop here. But adding fuel to the fire here was on-chain analytics platform Crypto Quant, signaling that long-term holders were starting to divest themselves of their stash in a classic bear market move. Long-term holders' capitulation phase has begun, and this is gigantic. Currently, the long-term holders are entering capitulation and are selling at a loss, indicating smart money accumulation phase has begun, and the next few months would present a great opportunity for long-term investing in this market. It is noted that such a capitulation event usually marks a multi-year bottom, and that's what we're talking about here with the SOPR. This is very big. So if this is truly the case, where people are finally divesting and giving up and only the true moon boys remain, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, if it truly is. You know, this could last a few months. And yeah, I mean, to summarize it, this is probably the worst time to stop paying attention to crypto. A lot of people have stopped. The space is more quiet than it was a year ago, immensely. A lot of people have left. But this is potentially the silliest time to leave crypto. And with that, Bitcoin obviously on the rocks. But here's a very likely scenario that I believe is very much the case. So an expanded flat correction, which again, if you compare these two, I've kind of mapped it out a little bit, kind of just showing you what it basically looks like. You see it's in an uptrend, which this correction would be in a longer term uptrend. So this is pretty much a bullish scenario. And again, I'm absolutely not convinced that this is guaranteed to happen or anything like that. However, if this pattern truly is playing out, we're about 90% done with it, meaning this pattern matches up about 90% of this, meaning it's like not like we're assuming we're in some kind of giant falling wedge and we have like 90% of the pattern left to go. This pattern is almost complete. It already matches up so far. And to validate it, there's only basically one move left. And in fact, we might have already finished the final down move. So this C move here actually sees us breaking the previous lows. For us, these previous lows would have been the summer of last year, around 28,000. And we've already gone down to about 24,000, 25,000 on some exchanges, 25 and 24, depending on which exchange. And so that technically would be breaching these lows. However, I do think it's equally as possible that, you know, maybe we have not seen those lows just yet. And we do have one final wave down here. Again, maybe to that $22,000, $24,000 level like we just talked about in that article. Either way, both of those would then necessitate a move to the upside if it were to be truly an expanded flat correction here. So just very big. Food for thought. Again, you can pause the video and just compare both of these because they are very, very similar. Very, especially between the B and C here. I mean, also between the A and B is also extremely similar. And even prior to the A, I mean, it all looks very identical, expanded flat correction. So just ginormous. And again, it's always worth noting, I think with Ethereum here, just Ethereum, I mean, my goodness, I think everyone's aware that if this bad boy breaks down, wow, just absolute dumpiness could ensue. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications, never miss these absolute time-sensitive alerts. As well, if you're interested in any bonuses or deals, make sure to check out all of the pinned comments and description links, bonuses for trading, getting altcoins below. Absolutely insane deals using the link specifically below. And as well, if you're interested in earning rewards with your ADA, in addition to free society tokens, very, very unique, very rare chance, right? Only 7 pools that exist were accepted into this 6-month basically free airdrop of these tokens that will be distributed if you are staking in our pool. We are only one of a select few that were basically awarded this opportunity, so it's very exciting. You know, the Ape Society tokens, you know, could they be very valuable? I'm hoping so because I'm delegating my ADA and I'm going to be receiving these. So that would be absolutely fantastic. But as well, I have one Twitter and one Instagram, and they're both in my description below. All other accounts are not me. Without any further ado, that's it for me.